Hello. Hello.
All right,
Thank you.
we're gonna go ahead and get started so everyone can get out of here early and on time, fingers crossed. So welcome everyone to our November 15th public hearing and regular meeting of Community Board 4. It is now 6:04 p.m. and we're gonna go right into our public hearing agenda for this evening, starting with the City Council participatory budget presentation. So I believe we have both Juan Mayancela and Fran Senueza from our council members' offices. The floor is now yours.
Which way do we look? Which way do we look? Okay, hi. We have a presentation. We're waiting. Hi, everyone. I'm Fran. I'm from Councilmember Nurse's office.
Hey everyone, I'm Juan Mayancela from Councilmember Jennifer Gutierrez's office.
Oh, here it is, our presentation. We're going to talk to everyone tonight about participatory budget and how you can tell us how to spend $1 million in District 37 and in District 34. All right, next slide. Next slide. Okay, great. All right, it's your turn.
Yeah. So what is participatory budgeting? Participatory budget is a democratic process in which community members directly decide how to spend a part of a public budget. It's usually $1 million that the council member sets aside, and it goes through a process where the community gives the council member ideas, and then the council members then the community decides how they want to spend, and this is available through a voting process.
Key word here is participatory, meaning folks in the community participate, right? Next slide. Someone says they cannot hear anything. Oh, that's okay. Okay, so how does it work? Participation, right? So community-based decision-making process. The community submits ideas, then the community chooses the ideas that they want to see on the ballot. The community votes on the ideas that are on the ballot. So in every step of the process, the community members have a say. Next slide.
So the projects, what can be funded through a participatory budget? It is capital projects, meaning the way that we like to see is something that you could touch, and it could when we could upgrade for 5 years, or we could create. It has to be at least $50,000, and then it can be something like an expense, which will be programming. Nothing like a program or a budget.
Next slide. Okay, so criteria for submitting an idea. So anybody in the community can submit an idea. That includes children as young as 11 years old, up until our older adults. They can, well, technically the official deadline has already passed, but both of our offices are collecting ideas through the end of the month. So this is our last call for ideas. So tonight we've actually brought some idea cards. We're going to request that folks fill them out as an activity. And then, but throughout the previous month, we've been collecting these ideas both in person at outreach events and also through an online map that the city has put up where you can kind of like go in and see what has been submitted so far in all of the participating council districts. Slide.
So for District 34, for the land, we've participated around 11 years on participatory budget. So we have funded a lot of projects. For last year, we did fund PS 84, which was a lab, PS 250 AV upgrade, which is auditory and vision for a school. El Jardín also received upgrades, a community garden. And we have more streets in our district, which is going to be planted throughout. EBC High School received laptops, and PS 257 is going to be sensory classroom.
Next slide. District 37 did participatory budget for the first time last year. So we're very excited to be doing it again for the second year. Last year, we were able to award $1,009,500 to 6 different projects. Among those, there were 4 school projects. There was a gym renovation here in Bushwick. There was a bathroom renovation in East New York Public School. We did an auditorium upgrade for Bushwick High School. Wyckoff Avenue should be getting around 30 street trees. And we're installing 4 sanitation cameras to prevent illegal dumping throughout the district. So those are just some examples of what amounts were allotted to those winning projects last year.
And then we have a slide with like other districts which have other ideas that they have won. I think one of the famous ideas that is like a water bottle upgrade for schools. We also have a bio waste, a community gardens, and hydroponic labs, which have also been a good idea in other districts.
Yeah, so this is just so that you can get some creative juices flowing, like what kind of things you can submit tonight. It can be playground renovation, a wheelchair ramp for public housing for a senior building. It can be street repavement, etc. So here's some other examples, actually. What things are eligible and not eligible. So when it comes to streets, you can do road resurfacing or pedestrian safety crossing improvements, but you can't repair private roads. Why? Because it's not public. Duh. Public housing, what is eligible? A wheelchair ramp or improving lighting for public housing because it's public housing, but we can't hire security guards for that public housing. For seniors, we can request upgrades for public plazas or parks, but we can't hire healthcare home workers. And for transit, we can improve subway stations such as help points in the subway platforms or bus stops, but we can't expand bus service.
And then this is the idea map that the city is using. You could go to ideas.pbnyc.org. You can't submit ideas that has closed, but you can actually go there and see other ideas submitted if you want to get an idea for projects. Just a quick little thing. Every idea that's in the PB and in the PB idea map does not mean it's going to pass to the next round. Right now, what our offices need is participatory budget delegates, where the delegates help us decide which projects can make it to the ballot. It is community based, so we're asking anybody in the community to please join us. And you will have a key stake deciding what projects. The council member's office, we do not intervene in this process. We don't like to decide what project should be in the ballot, but we let the community decide with everything.
Okay, so what is the timeline like? Right now, we're ending our idea collection phase. So we have been doing steps 1 and 2, which started back in October and goes through the end of November. We have been presenting this presentation slide at other outreach events throughout the district, getting folks to submit ideas or sign up as a volunteer or a budget delegate like Juan was saying. What comes next and starting in December, we'll prepare the ballot creation. So we're gonna go through the list of all the ideas that were submitted and make sure that they meet all the criteria that the city agencies require. And then we'll kind of weed through the list and start creating a nice, beautiful ballot so that come March, we can start preparing to get out the vote. We'll tell the community what ideas have made the short list so that folks can think about what they want to vote on. And in the next slide, March and April, officially the vote week will be April 6th to April 14th this year. It'll be a 9-day vote period, so folks can come and vote on the ideas that made the ballot that were selected by community members. And then May onwards, the money will be earmarked in the next fiscal year.
And then we just little thing that we do is like you have to be 11 years old. We do not ask for documentation. No IDs are required. it is a, democratic process and it's open. So we just ask anybody to be faithful and just let us know if they're part of the district or not.
Right. And so to vote for any idea in either of the two districts, you just have to live, work, or study in the district. So for instance, I was able to vote in the district where I live in, but I have also been able to vote in the district where I work in. So I was able to vote on two different sets of projects proposed by different council member offices. So even if you don't live in Bushwick, you can still vote in Bushwick.
And it is $1 million, so you would have more. It depends like the value of the projects that are winning. So you could have more than one winner. You could have up to 4 winners. And then like let's say for an example, I think it happened in both council districts where the 4th winner would have overpassed the $1 million. The council members decided to still put in extra money in the participatory budget and help fund the 4th project that won.
Okay, so before we go on to the activity, are there any questions? Patient. Yes. Yes, I can send you a copy of the presentation. It is the last call to submit ideas. So ideally, I would suggest that if you have any additional ideas that come to mind, that you send them to our office midweek next week. But we do have an activity tonight if there's time for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ms. Spellin, we have the presentation. Fran sent it in advance. That's what Kim is
Okay.
sharing right now. We can make sure that it's available to the full board.
Any other questions about projects
Any other
or any other
questions?
question of any kind? Nope.
Anyone on Zoom? Oh, wait, I have one here.
Hi, Nico, a community board member here at Community Board 4. I have a quick question related to like what are some ways in which like the a local the office that you work for like provides maybe additional information around certain things that you're like that specific data points that around like specific need in the community that can like maybe guide some of our own suggestions that we have other than just specifically so we can maybe make a more educated decision around some of the suggestions that we're making.
Good question. That's a difficult question to answer.
So I think one way our office does it that we do tabling as well.
Mm.
So we go throughout the whole district, different points, depending on like foot traffic, and then we do set up a table and give out information and participatory budget, a way to like speak with community members and let them know what the process is. And then we do hold assemblies as well where we like make these big meetings and we invite people to come to the meetings and we show them the same presentation and we collect ideas as well.
Yeah, and what I would say is that because it's only our second year at Council Member Nurse's office, we've actually learned a lot by hosting these kinds of meetings at different places throughout the district. So for instance, we had an assembly over in East New York, and just by having a community discussion, we learned that the main concern for the constituents in East New York was safety. And so a lot of the requests that came through for ideas was better improvement on lighting under Fulton, under the train tracks. So a lot of the ideas that got pitched were around that, security cameras or lighting or anything that made the neighbors feel a little safer, especially at night. And a lot of other things have come from students who have kind of reached out to us and told us how they'd like to make their school better, or even parent coordinators who have approached us in some of our outreach efforts. So we've been learning from one year to the other. And like Juan said, not every idea gets funded, but we did keep a list from the ideas that were submitted last year. And I think because it's our second year, we might merge them from last year to see if any of the ones that didn't make the ballot last year, we could add them to the list of like candidates for this year to just kind of have a larger pool of projects for our budget delegates to choose from. And that list is kept by the council member, so she will look at it for ideas for discretionary funding from other avenues, or if there's a possibility of maybe combining with the borough president's office for larger costing items, such as like a dog run or larger improvements to a gymnasium for a school or stuff like that. Mhm.
There's also the board's statement of district needs and budget requests.
Right.
And want to say thank you to the council members' offices for taking a look at that and using it to inform some of the ideas as well.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Anderson, member of Community Board 4. And I wanted to ask, are there any plans to paint the overpass of the J train? It's so drab and it would kind of lighten up the neighborhood, lighten up the mood.
Yeah, that's on the plan. We already, it's on it. It's gonna take a while, but we're working on it. That's one of the presentations, our meeting, Minds and Celeste, that we had, last week with the council and, Senator Salazar and all the elected officials. They are starting on, on the cell going towards, Eastern Parkway. Alabama, then they're coming back and they're gonna start the whole J line and then they're gonna start the M line. So we're moving. Not as fast as we wanted, but it took time, but we're there. We met with them and we did the walkthrough. They also can tell you. So we're working on that. That's separate compared, that's MTA and that's separate compared to what they want to do. And
Is that
that's-
proposed for next year or 2025?
it's one is gonna do 2025 up to 2024 to 2020
It's not-
24.
It's now.
It's now.
The work is happening now. and
Now?
it's gonna
Oh,
take
wow.
Time. So
Yeah. But the other part will start 2025 because it's gonna take all through. So it's gonna be a while. Then they're gonna start on the M line. So it's gonna take a while because what they're doing now, they're blasting it with a new blaster to take the paint and the chip out, and they got it closed off. They got to do section by section. Am I right so far? Okay, section by section. I want to don't be out of context. Section by section, and when they move, they're gonna paint, wait to dry, then they're gonna move on another block, sandblast it. There's no gonna be disruption in service. They're only gonna take a few area parking spots that they're gonna take. That's what they promised us. So and that's it, right? That's it.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Camacho. Just one more question. Are there any music classes for the children and maybe for adults as well?
Great question. We get these kinds of questions a lot. Classes are considered program. So participatory budget from council office doesn't programs or expense funding. We do capital funding, which means like hard infrastructure projects. However, El Puente couldn't be here tonight. They the mayor's office through the CEC has decided to start participatory budget on a city level as well. They started last year, like us, like District 37. And they have a different pool of money that is specifically for programs. It's called the People's Money. They're still collecting ideas. You can submit ideas online. I'm happy to send you the information. I think the flyer is also in the community board newsletter. I saw it. But basically what that is, it's a different pool of money. And I believe Bushwick has been chosen as one of the tree neighborhoods and gets around $50,000 to spend. Also, community members projects, what kind of projects they want to fund through that money. Last year, we people who were able to come and choose a few winning projects, right? 6. So programs there is an avenue for that. So if you did submit that kind of idea through our office, we're going to send it to El Puente anyways, but they've been doing their own outreach around that. So unfortunately, we can't cover programs. Long story, long.
Yep.
Yep.
And
And we still have the activity,
Another one.
please. Yeah, let's start handing them out.
Okay, we're gonna take 2 more. Is there anyone on Zoom? Okay, I have Celeste and then I have Felix.
I just wanted to add as a point of information, so El Puente, the team was supposed to be here this evening. They did let us know in advance that they weren't going to be able to make it to provide the information on the citywide process. We will see if they can follow up and attend the meeting in the future. Just wanted to add that they were invited and weren't able to make it this evening.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Felix Ceballos. Just I want to say about Camacho mentioned before about the repair for the station train. It's very important when they do all the repair and they don't have to stop the circulation because a lot of people coming from work from different area try to go home and it's very hard when they have to come out and take an Uber or taxi, whatever. Thank you.
So, Juan, handing out some idea cards. I will come by your table to collect them. I'm not letting you leave without them being filled out, please. Throughout this process, I think our most difficult obstacle has been people saying, oh yeah, I'll submit an idea online. And then I go check on the map and the idea is not there. So I'm not letting you leave tonight without giving me your ideas. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation.
Yeah, and I just want to add one thing. I hope that we get everybody, all our youth and all our kids to come on out and put whatever they want to see there or whatever they want the money to go. Because oftentimes they do jobs that sometimes the community, don't want or cater to different people. So we want to make sure that our kids and the people that are there can use the services that are going to be there or whatever they want to be there, that it's people from within the community. We don't want to get something there or do something with that money, and then the people that voted in all of a sudden disappears, and then this community's stuck with whatever's on there. So we want to make sure it benefits the community and also benefits the kids. So I want to have an open dialogue and make sure that it benefits the people that's going to put in, because that's what we need. And we need those 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15-year-old kids, because they're constantly telling us, they're taking our ball field and they're using it at dog park. Is there any way we can have green grass and not feces in our play field? Or is there any way that we can put some money into somewhere for we can have a soccer field or do programming where we can do things, and also open space for our youth and our girls? Lots of times, with the peer pressure that we see now, I see a lot of young girls on their phone and doing that, whatever they do on that, take pictures. And, is there a place where they can explore what they want to in regards to, social media? Some of those kids are real. I see some of them even dancing and doing the thing and walking, and I'm like, you don't know what is it, but they're doing stuff and they're posting it and sending out. I don't know if they get a lot of views or hits. I know they say if you get a lot of hits, they give you money. So I know I can't get no money because I don't get no hits. So I want to make sure that we do it with the kids, and the money is a lot of money. It's two different, 37 and 34. And also we have El Puente. So you can't complain that there's no money. There's money. We just got to put it where we want to put it, where the kids can read the reef. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Oh, you got something else? Okay. We will move on now to the second public hearing item. We have the FDNY with us. When you're ready.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Celeste, for the invite. My name's Captain Jerry Rocco. I'm with the FDNY Fire Safety Education Unit. We work out of Fort Taunton, Queens. We'll go to your church, your senior center, your school. Anywhere there's a group of people, we have to be there to teach them the do's and the don'ts. And there's a lot of don'ts. Fires have been up. It's been a crazy, crazy year. We lost 3 people on Albany Avenue this week. I believe that's 92 fire fatalities. We're catching up with last year, which was 99. Okay. E-bike, once again, an e-bike, 17th fatality due to an e-bike. But they are not the only fires. Still have the traditional holiday fires. The holidays, unfortunately, are a very tragic time for many, many people. I've seen my worst fires around Christmas, Thanksgiving, the cooking, the drinking, careless smoking, right? We have the holidays. Everyone wants to party, constantly cooking, constantly drinking, some people, and that leads to a lot of fires. All right, just be aware. The heating season is here. Space heaters, big problem. Electric blankets, big problem. Furnaces, burners, big problem, right? We have to use things properly. We have to use quality products. I'll speak very quickly about a fire up in the Bronx. We lost 17 people, 10:30 in the morning. That's going to be the second anniversary this coming January 12th. Okay, a lot of things went wrong at that fire. That fire involved a lot of things. When you have one thing go wrong, things snowball. Started with a space heater. Was it misused? Was it too close to the combustibles? It should be at least 3 feet away. Was it plugged into an extension cord? That's a no-no. Nothing hot, nothing cold into an extension cord. They have to be plugged directly into an outlet. That was problem number one. Problem number two, smoke alarms. Did they have smoke alarms? They had a lot of smoke alarms documented. Many people, not all, many people ignored those smoke alarms. You hear a ringing alarm, investigate. Call 911. Let us get there. Let us do our job. We have to see what's going on. Don't assume it's someone else's problem. Their problem can become your problem. Problem number three, that door to that fire department was in the open position. Was it defective? Was it not closed? What happened? Not exactly sure. Doesn't matter. We know the door was open. Closed doors prevent the spread of fire and smoke. Make sure those doors are closed. Problem number three, fireproof versus non-fireproof. We had a fireproof building there. Mostly, almost always, you are safer in your fireproof apartment unless the fire is in your apartment. If you're in a fireproof building, 7 stories or greater, no fire escapes. 7 stories or greater, no fire escapes. Usually fireproof building. Be familiar with your surroundings. The fire could be beneath you, next to you, above you. You do not go anywhere. You are safe in your fireproof apartment. Okay, non-fireproof, 6 stories or less. You'll see fire escapes, private dwelling. Non-fireproof, doesn't matter where the fire is. Fire travels very quickly. Get out as soon as you can. Have a meeting place. Let's practice the 3 Ps. Prevention, having a plan, not just for your house, but you're staying on vacation in a hotel, you're staying by your mother's house for the holidays. Have a plan and practice that plan, especially with those kids. Okay, fire alarms, you have to have them. You have to have enough. Enough is 1 smoke alarm in each bedroom. Many people do not realize that. 1 combination alarm, CO alarm, on each level of your home. Know what to do when those alarms sound. The best thing is the Red Cross works with the FDNY, and we have a program where we will come to your house, see what you need, install what you need, absolutely free. Has anyone taken advantage of that program? We've been throughout Brooklyn. I have 2 teams going out every day. Red Cross has a few teams going out. You need those alarms, call the Red Cross, 877 Red Cross. 877 Red Cross, which is 877-733-2767. 877-733-2767. Give them a call. We'll get you in the system. We'll get those alarms to you. Make sure you have enough and make sure you have a plan. Any questions? We install them. I used to come to an event like this. I'd hand out, you get 2 and you get 1 and you get 1. And what happens? You take that 1 and you put it in your drawer because you're waiting for your son's coming over next weekend. He's going to put it up for you. And 2 years later, it's still in the drawer. Or people would put them up in the boiler room. That's a mistake. Put up in the kitchen. That's a mistake. It becomes a nuisance. So what do? They think it's defective. They rip it down and throw it out. All right. For those reasons, we do not hand out smoke alarms. They are absolutely free, installed by firefighters professionally in the right spot.
Last question. It might help somebody else. If I call tomorrow for this alarm, what's the wait period? A week, 10 days?
I heard 3-week lead time, but they've been
3
very
weeks.
busy
Okay,
lately.
good.
So give them a shout. If you have any problems, call my unit, Fire Safety Education. Grab some literature in the back. I got some great literature. Our email's there, QR code's there. If you have a problem, let me know, and we'll get those alarms to you quicker. Yes. 877-733-2767. 877-733-2767.
I asked a question, they can't hear, so we want to make sure that you use your microphone that people can hear on Zoom.
Felix Ceballos again, question, for those fire across, the battery, do you have some, the fire department has some plan, so far?
We've had laws enacted, laws, we know how that goes. People don't always obey laws, right? We have a law, the only one that's really going to help us, I think, is the education. That came into play, and we're going to have education. That's why I'm here, and that's why we'll be all over the city. They have laws as far as generic batteries. Generic batteries, there's money to be made. If there's a battery for $200 and one for $100, people are going to buy the cheaper one. It's human nature. There's money to be made. That's hard to stop. We have a law where it says you cannot have reconditioned batteries. There's money to be made reconditioning batteries. It's going to be a whole lot cheaper. People are not going to stop. All right. I don't know what the answer is. Buildings, landlords have to police their own buildings. Those bikes should not be anywhere inside those buildings.
Thank you.
Okay, what I think would help, I don't know if it's ever going to happen, biggest lobbyists are the insurance companies. To me, that's the only way that's really going to combat it. Have the insurance companies say if an e-bike causes the fire in your home is not covered, right? They do that with swimming pools, they do that with trampolines, but we have to police ourselves. We have to look out for ourselves. All right, it's a huge problem. It's gonna get worse.
I got one here.
That one- Okay, you're next.
How do you feel about the smoke retarded blankets that they throw a blanket, like say on a stove fire?
Okay, it's something that could work, but you are not a firefighter. It depends on the situation, how confident you are. Fire extinguishers are a great tool, but you have to know how to use it. A lot of people don't know how to use it. Information is right back there. Blankets can work, but know your limits. You're not a firefighter. You don't have the training. You don't have the equipment. Right? It's going to work on a small fire. You're depriving the whole thing with fire is a breathing, living thing. It needs oxygen. You have to deprive it of that oxygen. A blanket is going to smother it. That's going to put the fire out. Right? There's other things that work. Extinguishers work. If you have a grease fire, no water on a grease fire. Everyone hopefully knows that. Best thing, deprive it of oxygen. Have that tight fitting lid cover that pan, that pot. That's going to smother it.
So you have demos on how to use a fire extinguisher?
I'll give you a quick one right now. All right, my time is limited, but they're asking for it.
Okay.
PASS is the acronym. Acronym is PASS. PASS. Fire extinguisher. Pull a pin. It has a pin. You have to pull a pin. The pin prevents you from squeezing the trigger. Many people do not know that. Pull a pin. Aim it. People want to aim it at the flames that are hitting the cabinets. Big mistake. You could do that all day long. That's not going to do anything. We aim it at the base. Aim it low at the base. S. Squeeze the trigger. You have to squeeze the trigger. Squeeze the trigger and then sweep back and forth, expel a whole extinguisher. Pass, pull a pin, aim it at the base, squeeze it and sweep it back and forth. Those books back there tell you all about that. Definitely a good tool. Everyone should have one. ABC extinguisher is good on all fires. They last 8 to 10 years and probably $30 to $35. Home Depot, Target, hardware store. Great tool. Make sure you have one. Don't put it under the sink like everyone wants to do. And cover with their household cleaners and their towels, and you need it, you can't find it, it should be mounted on a wall, such as that. Have it out of reach of the little ones, because if they pull it off the wall, they will get hurt. You had a question, ma'am?
Yes, Joanna Bennett. Question about what can the FDNY do about abandoned buildings? And this time of year, you find squatters and people trying to get out of the cold. And we know that these people will heat homes, their places by any means necessary. What can be done?
That's more the buildings department. That if there's a danger, you could call 911. We're there for immediate dangers, life hazard. As far as police in the building, seeing who's in there and who's not in there, that's beyond us. That's the buildings department. But as soon as there is a life issue, we're going to be there. So the thing is to have those buildings sealed, but we don't seal buildings. That's, buildings department. Call 311.
I have Ann Guiney, CB4. I have a fire extinguisher. I see them in the hallway of my building. All of them have a little tag right on them. None of them are anywhere near 2023. How long do they last, and how can you get them recharged or looked at or whatever? And how do I make my landlord do that?
Okay, a commercial extinguisher, they depend on which type it is. It could be good for 6 months or 1 year. And that should be taken care of. The fire department goes out on inspections every day of the week, and it's just hard to patrol all the buildings. But, if you have a complaint, we'll go there and investigate. We could investigate and write a violation and have them correct the issue, right? Other small extinguishers within a household are disposable. They do not get recharged. They should be shooken up. Right inside of the sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda. You don't want to become caked up. So even though it's pressurized, it's in the green, it may not be good. Give it a good shake. Make sure that powder remains like a powder.
Anyone on Zoom? Kim? No, wait, Celeste.
Back to you.
Okay, and I just wanted to add as a point of information in reference to abandoned buildings, the Department of Housing Preservation and Development may also be involved in addition to Department of Buildings. If any board members, anyone has a complaint about a building, please call 311. You can let us know, and then we will email HPD, DOB, and the NYPD to flag the building for them. Yes, Denise, you have a question on Zoom?
Yes. Should all buildings have a fire extinguisher in them? Because I live in a multi-dwelling building and there are no fire extinguishers in the halls.
There's a lot of variables, so I'm not sure. Usually something like a commercial building absolutely has to have fire extinguishers. A good landlord's going to have fire extinguishers in the hallway. But the big problem is those fire extinguishers are stolen, played with, and for that reason, it's hard to keep them in the hallways. So definitely have yours. You have control over yours. A good landlord will have them in the hallways, will make sure that they're up to date to protect his building.
Thank you.
Red Cross. Once again, that number for the free alarms, 877 Red Cross, 877 Red Cross, which translates to 877-733-2767.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you guys. Have a blessed holiday. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Stay safe always.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Celeste. Stay well. Okay. Good work.
All right, everyone. That concludes the CB4 public hearing for this evening. Board members, please be ready for the first roll call. I repeat, board members, please be ready for the first roll call. If you have not signed in, now is the time. This is also for elected officials. If you have not signed in, this is the time. Mr. Camacho?
Please, this is the Media Community Board for November 5th, Wednesday at at 6:35. The status of New York State, the charter of the city of Charter, New York, the bylaws, the Robert Rules of Order, the board's policy, courage. The board's policies and to encourage discussions of matter before the board at our committee meetings and at public hearing, consequently except by board members. There will be no public discussion at our regular monthly meeting of the matter about which a public hearing or committee meeting had already been held. Specific service delivery requests or complaints should be brought to the attention of the district office staff by calling 718-628-8400 on regular business hours between the hours of 9 to 5 or email or visit the website anytime. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Camacho. We will now move on with the roll call. Board members, please be ready. Isa Abney.
Present.
Stephanie Anderson. Present. Joanna Bennett. Present. Joshua Brown. Makiba Brown. Elaine. Raul Brown. Robert Camacho.
Present.
Present. Got you, Raul. Melissa Carrera Solana is excused. Felix Ceballos. Present. Christian Tate.
That's right.
Present. Andrew Choi. Avina is excused. Elvina Davis. Jasmine de Santiago Diaz. Cecilia Fabian. Present. Freddie Fowler. Joanna Fuentes. Christopher Graham. Present. Ann Guiney. Zachary Hendrickson is excused. Tanisha Honeygan. Barbara Jackson. Present. Kaisha Johnson. Virgie Jones. Tara Jones Thomas. Luisa Jose. Present. Nicholas Kaplan. Present. Edward Kopp. Present. Christine Malden. Raman Mama. Mary McClellan. Desmond Monroe is excused. Zuma Navoa.
Present.
Levi Ornstein Wolf. Caitlin Penner. Present. Asire Polite.
Present.
Raul Rubio. Eliseo Ruiz. Milagros Sandoval. Bernardina Shell is excused. Barbara Smith.
Present.
Maria Soler. Dustin Somborn. Annette Spellin. James Stewart. Jessica Tibercio is excused. Ben Tucker. Jerry Valentine.
Present.
Tashana Wade.
Present. Just got promoted to panelist. Thank you.
All right. Who was the last person to speak?
James Stewart, present.
Okay, thank you, James. All right, just a few notes, and I will ask Mr. Camacho if he would like for me to say it or if he would like to say it. Just one moment, please.
All right. This is very serious, guys. Which member of the public body may count towards a quorum? Any member who participate at a physical location that is open to in-public physical attendance by the public and which local has included in the meeting notes may count towards a quorum and may fulfill, participate, and vote in the meeting. If there is a quorum of a member at a physical location open to the public body may participate, conversation, a meeting. A member who is participating from a remote location that is not open to in-person physical attendance by the public may not be counted towards a quorum of the body, but may vote if there is a quorum of the physical members at the open to the public. Meaning, if we have quorum here, then they count in quorum. If we don't have quorum in person, then we can't move forward. You must be present. Anyone that has a circumstantial problem that needs to babysit, or they're sick, or they're immune, or they have extreme circumstances, they can get. If you're telling me you're working your home and you want to stay home, then that's not. We need a quorum in, even at committee meetings. We have to have a quorum in order for them to count, because we can't go to their house because it's not open to the public and outside people can't participate. That's why this is for the people outside. The board members that are doing the voting need to be present. I keep saying this constantly. I know what you guys say, I keep preaching to the choir, but obviously nobody's listening. And if you want a copy of the city charter or the open law meeting, we can give you a copy. But it's in here, it's highlighted. We have no quorum today. So we can't continue our work today. And if I find it kind of sad and disheartening that we work so hard in this community and people come to these meetings and want us to make recommendations and we don't have a quorum. So I'm going to make a recommendation only to read informational. Nothing is going to be voted in unless we make a quorum, which I doubt it. Everything will be informational, and anything that's not. We need 3 people. I know we need 3 because there's only 17, 22. Yeah, we need 3. So everything will be informational, and anything that's very important that we have in regards to some of the cannabis license, some of the licenses for liquor licenses, permits license, and everything we can be voted on because we have no quorum. Everything else is informational. Obviously, we'll be reading off the agenda.
That being said, since there is no quorum, we have to skip the acceptance of the agenda, skip the acceptance of the previous meeting minutes, and that moves us along to the chairperson's report. Mr. Camacho.
Oh, yeah. There is food there, guys. All board members first, could you go get some food? Please come back and we're gonna continue. I'll continue, my report. Only board members first, and then if there's, the outside people can play, please, could you keep it down? Cause we're still holding our meeting. We met, the executive board, met, and they, in executive board meeting, they schedule a change in regards to quarterly meetings, or we can't even vote on this. We can't vote on this. We can't. Hello? Yeah, we can't vote on none of this, even the text amendment. It's informational, but why we reading it? This info. All right, well, we can't vote on that as the open law meeting, attending meeting in person quorum, as a meeting in the bylaws. All right, well, this is just informational. I'm gonna bring back what Celeste had put here in regards to board members being flagged for attendance. Joshua Brown, total of 4. Makerbell Brown, a total of 3. Maritza Carrero is she's maternity leave. She has 5. Desel Santiago Diaz has 4. Joanna Fuentes has 4. Christian Graham has 4. Tanisha Hagan has 3. Ramadan Ma has 3. Mary McCullen has 6. Desmond has 6, 3 and 3. Isaiah Palak has 2 and 2, 4. Vanina Shell has 3 and 4. Maria Solar has 4. Stephanie Anderson has 2. Everyone is going to receive a letter or have received a letter or going to receive a letter in regards to their attendance. Raul Brown has 1. Felix Cevallo has 2. Andrew Shane has 2. Freddie Fowler has 2. Angani has 2. Henderson has 1. Johnson has 2. Thomas has 1. And Christian C. Tenney has 1. So guys, a lot of you guys are new. You came to the board, you signed up, you wanted to. You're volunteering. But we take our job serious. I hope that the borough president, when we send this out, that he does his due diligence and do what he has to do to make sure that the people that don't come to the meetings, that he addressed the situation that needs to be done. Everything else is on here was. Okay, I have something important that I know our borough president sent out to Eric Adams in regards to community boards, criteria link between the public and the city government. He says that the charter, technically, he wants to change the charter duties in section 8, 14B, and 2800E in regards to certain with staff and limited budget. Force the City Hall provides a level of support that raises the ability concerns and the deep needs to revisit community board's budget. The board existing budget provides for one or more or three of more staff in the line and leaves room for competitive salary, making recruitment, retaining professional staff. So out of all this that he's saying is that he don't want to serve Celeste Phillipson on what he doesn't want to do. He don't want to serve the community board and its needs anymore. That he wants us to be our own entity. So he's writing to Mayor Adams to change the city charter because they can't deal with some of the things that are going on with some of the boards in the community with support. Identifying new space, which is critical, CB16. It's talking about all the community boards. Has physical offices February 2023. Ward 6 and 13 are facing displacements from their existing office. So far, DCAS has failed to provide adequate relocation assistance. So there's a lot of problems going on, and where they're going over to Borough Hall and telling them that they need help, and they want to try to move away. We'll be moving away from such a large liability. So Celeste had sent out, and we can't vote on it anyway. Concerns just I guess he would have to answer to some of the discussions that Mayor had in regards to what he wrote in this letter. We had wrote back. Celeste will fill you in or read some of the concerns that we have in them not helping us.
Thank you, Mr. Camacho. I've tried to reach some board members by text to see if they're able to join us in person for us to make quorum. We had a miracle happen at our executive board meeting. I don't know if we'll have a miracle happen at this meeting. I don't make any promises, but I've tried. So as Mr. Camacho mentioned, in reference to this letter from the Borough President's Office, there was some questions from us. So if they are moving away from providing support with district office rent payments, is this an opportunity for the boards to process their own rent payments? If the latter is an option, we will have additional questions about ensuring the staff are prepared to handle the task. Myself, Kim, who had to learn FMS this year, and Adelina, who's currently learning FMS, can all attest to how challenging it is. And of course, for something this sensitive as paying rent, we want to make sure that we're amply prepared. And this isn't something that's just happening without the board's, preparation, which is so often the case. I believe when we first started paying our bills, they gave us one training and said, good luck. So hopefully that won't be the case with something as significant as rent, but that remains to be seen. We're awaiting other boards responding to this letter with their questions before the Borough President's Office will get back to us. Some boards, including CB4, we already provide a light meal or refreshments. We know this. Additionally, in terms of childcare, it might be beneficial to explore the possibility of further remote or OML amendment advocacy. Just pointing out, we have board members that are on Zoom this evening that can't be here in person, but they do not count towards quorum. If we were able to count the folks on Zoom, we would have over quorum for this meeting right now. But unfortunately, the law does not allow for that to be the case. The same is to be said for anyone requesting to be excused. You are more than welcome to join us. You won't be able to vote. That is not a CB4 rule. That is the open meetings law, and we have to enforce it, as does any other public body that operates under the open meeting law. And we certainly appreciate you still being here despite emergencies, despite sickness. I think it's a testament to CB4 how much you care that you still show up when you don't have to be here. You are technically excused. So I want to say thank you and acknowledge that. The other item that I wanted to point out, the Borough President's solution is to have at least one staff person that could constitute essential staff for community boards. It's really unclear what that would mean when these are mayoral, agencies. How would they support the community boards? Would this be a conversation where the community boards are a part of it? Or is it very similar to the support we receive now, which, speaking as someone who requests support on a regular basis, it really runs the gamut. Sometimes we have agencies that are responding to us quickly. Other times, it's very difficult to get what we need in order to operate. And then the last, the question was, has the borough president heard from other borough presidents in reference to support for the community boards and for this type of, endeavor that we would all have to clearly fight for?
Yeah, and those were the letters and comments we sent for him to fill out to us to let us know. I know we're supposed to be meeting with him soon in regards to what's going on. I don't know what other community boards are doing. I know what we're doing. So I don't think that we should be painted with the same brush as everybody else. And I think that I can't talk for other community boards and what they do, but I know I have been in this board for 34 years, and now in 2027 and on, we're going to be termed out. A lot of us that's been here and volunteering here, and we have new people too now that the borough president put on that don't even come. Let's be realistic. I'm gonna see it like I see it, like I say it, and see it like I see it. If you don't come and you're not gonna participate, then don't get on the board. Really. We need people, we need young people to come up, step up to the plate. Let's bring our kids in there. Let's teach them and show them. I go to the clergy meetings. They don't even know what the board does. And I constantly let them know what it is that we've done, how is it that we can serve them and help them, especially some of these churches that are going out of business now, and that everything is so high in the rent. And we're trying to work with people to keep housing on top and keep where they live and affordability. Now I know the mayor has a new city of yes. If you guys read that, that's city of no. And it's gonna be a tragedy. You think that city of yes is for us? You guys got a rude awakening. The 1 and 2 family homes are gone. I'm telling y'all right now, the 1 and 2 family homes are gonna be gone in Bushwick. No one's gonna be owner anymore. Everybody's gonna be renters. That they don't push us out. I'm being truthful with you guys because I'm seeing it and I'm seeing what's going on. We had a Bushwick community plan 10 years ago. And now they're coming with new ideas and new stuff to push us away because we didn't agree with their plan. And I know that some of the elected officials that are here and sitting here, it breaks my heart because if you guys see what's going on in Bushwick, know what's going on in Bushwick, and our people are suffering in Bushwick, and you are doing nothing about this, then something ain't right. Something's not right that we're choosing people that's supposed to be representing us, and then we're losing our homes. The other day, I just met this senior, 73 years old, a retired teacher, sleeping in the car. Sleeping in the car. How is that possible? How about your mom? Because no one wants to take a voucher. Because she got pushed out because of son. And she's in the car sleeping. Another church person told me today, he's in the street. They sold, his family sold his 2-family home, and he's in the street. He's 83 years old. Those are the people that made Bushwick what it is. And we're throwing them out? So what we're going to say is enough. You know what they do? They look at the polls and they see how many people in Bushwick vote. And then we ask them to come here and they look at us. What am I going to go over there with the board for? They don't vote. I had somebody tell me that. Someone tell me that. The numbers ain't there. So what you want? You want housing? You want affordability? You want clean parks? You want police services? You want mental health? You want all this stuff for here? Oh, but you know what we can get? This is what we can get. Weed spots. Yeah. You're laughing, I'm serious. Weed spots.
Drinking, what we done when we were kids, they're taking it away and they're giving it legal now. Bikes coming wrong way on the opposite side. I got hit with 7 summonses when I was 14 years old. Riding my bike the wrong way, 7. I got a bench warrant at the age of 15, not for paying the 7 summonses. I got picked up. Nobody talk about that. Nobody talk about me or my kids or our family. So we really need to step up. All of us, regardless. And we need a quorum. We have things that are important. We really do. We need services, and we got Hope Garden that needs to apply for grants and loans because it's a private development. We got seniors that need social services here. They're laughing at you because they can't get it because there aren't voters here. Why am I going to give you $1 million for what? To do a dog park and a play area for our kids? I love dogs. I always had a dog, but I got a backyard. I can walk my dog. But our kids, they're in the projects, hanging out, making TikTok, shooting. They're robbing people with e-bikes and bicycles. There's a lot of problems in this. PD can attest to this. We got cops coming from other precincts in this community because it's a crime. On Troutman, on Star, on all the nightlight activities. There's robberies, people on e-bikes, they're robbing people, people are getting hurt. We're not living in a bubble. This is real. We're going back to the 60s. I lived there all my life, so I know what it's like. I'm not scared. Maria Hernandez died for a reason. Maria Hernandez, her husband was on this board, Carlos, Ana Gonzalez. We had people on this board, Avalon Hansley, seniors that been on this board when I was a young kid, 21, 22 years old, that brought us up, seniors that wanted us, that made Bushwick what it is now. When this building you in was a vacant lot, I got pictures painted with rocks. And we were happy, me and my brothers. So something needs to be done.
Yeah.
And something needs to be done now. I don't know what is that need to be done. We need to have people to come into this meeting. So what let's keep writing letters, putting them in, they get people out, you get new people in, and then they move, and then what? They live here 2 years, 1 year, they move out, they're no longer on the board, and they change the whole narrative, and the seniors and the people that live here gotta live with this. Do you believe that?
I have great news, everyone. We have a quorum. All right, so we will go back to the top, but we'll make it brief. Is there a motion to accept the agenda? Alvina Davis makes a motion to accept. Is there a second? Joanna Bennett. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. Agenda item number 3, acceptance of the previous meeting minutes. I want to say thank you to Andrew Choi, who is excused this evening, for assisting the office. I did share with the executive board recently that it's been very challenging. The Office of Cannabis Management, all of those cannabis retail applications, the office has to prepare to review them. We did not get any guidance. We have to set up questionnaires, stipulation sheets. We have to set up, all of the materials, resolution templates that we do for the State Liquor Authority process. We have to make sure the information is on the website. I say this in short to say, you also heard Mr. Camacho mention that the borough president is now moving away from supporting the community boards. That means that we now have more of an administrative burden. We are now doing hybrid meetings for all of our meetings, meaning the staff have to not only operate Zoom and make sure we're checking the chat, make sure we're monitoring for folks that are muted. We have to now operate camera equipment. And so I certainly appreciate any help, any and all help from the board. We thank Andrew for helping us with the minutes.
And they also have to take training, because if not, we're not in compliance, we get cited.
And that being said, he did ask, since he's excused this evening, for the minutes to be tabled, and he will have them to our office by this Friday. Is there a motion to table?
I, Robert Camacho, make the motion.
Okay. Was a second? We need a second first. From who? Say your name. Okay, thank you. Caitlin seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved to the table. Thank you. And we already went through Mr. Camacho's report. Mr. Camacho, did you have anything else that required a quorum? We could just go-
Oh, yes, the attendance, just sent them out. You said you're gonna send out notices just to these people.
Okay.
The attendance and also, the letter that we're gonna, with the questionnaire that we're gonna send to the borough president, those concerns and,
The executive board meeting?
oh, yeah, the executive, oh, yeah, the quarterly report that they want us to meet quarterly now instead of every month that we were meeting, we're gonna meet, executive board is gonna meet quarterly instead of meeting or as needed, instead of just meeting every month with the same thing over. We're starting January. All right, so on the executive board meeting the chairs of the each standing committee and the executive board officers. And I think that was it, right, Celeste?
I think so.
Wait, let me make sure before, because I know we have to. Yeah, the attendance, yeah, that was it, Celeste, yeah. Mhm.
All right. So we'll move on now to the introduction of elected officials and representatives. Any reps that are here in person, please come up front so we can pass the mic to you. Anyone on Zoom, please raise your hand.
Hi again, it's Fran from Councilmember Sandy Nurse's office.
Hey again, Juan Mayanceda here from Councilmember Jennifer Gutierrez's office.
Hi, Lacey Tauber from the Brooklyn Borough President's office.
Hi, good evening, Maria Valdez from Senator Julia Salazar.
Hi, Pablo Rivera from Assemblyman Eric Dilan's office.
So we have all our representatives here.
Go ahead, Jonathan.
Good evening, everyone. This is Jonathan from Boza. Just bring greetings from District Attorney Eric Gonzalez's office. Thank you.
Okay, and just for the record, and thank you for the person that reminded me, 25 board members are present. 25 are present, so that constitutes quorum. All right, and I just want to make sure I have everyone here. If I missed your name just because I was speaking to other folks, I have Fran, I have Juan, I have Lacey, I have Maria, I have Pablo, and I have Jonathan. Were there any other elected official reps that I missed? Okay, good. Oh, is that a hand? Go ahead, Yvette.
Hi, I'm sorry I had to join back in the meeting. Good evening, everyone. My name is Yvette Lopez. I'm the Communications Director for Assemblywoman Maritza Davila, and we're located at 249 Wilson Avenue in Brooklyn. We can be reached at 718-443-1205. Very quickly, we have a holiday give back. We're working with all the elected officials and a few stakeholders. Save the date for December 20th.
Hello,
Thank you.
okay, when announcements come, could you please, thank you, I'm sorry.
It's
Just
okay.
name and-
Sorry.
Yeah, just name and contact info. Thank you, though. All right, moving on, we have our introduction of agency and community-based organization representatives. Same thing. If you're here in person, please come to the front. We'll pass the mic to you. If you are on Zoom, please raise your hand. City agency or any agency or community-based organization reps. I see a hand. I think that's the community partnership, Bushwick Community Partnership. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Cynthia Peña Ortiz, Program Director of the Bushwick Community Partnership at the Coalition for Hispanic Family Services.
Thank you, Cynthia. Feel free to provide your contact info if you'd like.
Yes, I'm writing it in the chat.
Oh, okay, perfect. Next, I see Oye Group.
Hi, it's OJ Group, Modesto Flaco Jimenez, Artistic Director and Bushwick Star Community Program.
Thank you. I cannot see who else is there. Oh, Bushwick Star. Yep.
Hi, this is Noel Elaine. I'm the Artistic Director of the Bushwick Star Theater. We will be, when we open our space in the spring at 419 Eldred Street.
Sorry, Noel, just name and contact info right now. Have to save it for announcements later.
No worries, forgive me. My number is 917-620-8546. Thank you.
We're super excited for that announcement, though. All right. Who else? I see Denise. Go ahead, Denise.
Yes, Denise Watkins, Flushing Family Residence Coordinator. My telephone number is 347-785-5909.
Thank you. And there's one name that I cannot see. Jessica, go ahead. You're still muted?
Hi, yes,
Go ahead.
hi, I'm Jessica Mackey Jean, the Vice President of CEC 32. My number is 917-826-2464.
All right, thank you all for joining us. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Alicia Sam Law from Lewisburg Community Partnership, Community Affairs Division. You can reach me at 646-794-0078. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I think that's everyone. We will now move on. Do we have anyone from the 83rd Precinct here this evening? We have our community affairs.
And let me tell you guys, son, these guys got 18, 19 years. I just don't know why. We had wrote them a letter for them to become a detective and nothing yet.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Officer Gomez, assigned to the 83rd Precinct, Community Affairs. First of all, let me give our phone number is 718-574-1697, 718-574-1697. That's Officer Lopez and I, the office. Our commanding officer couldn't be here tonight. She was going to join soon, but she had to jump in another meeting, I believe, with the district attorney. But out of all the 7 major felony crimes, we experienced a decrease on all of them except for the robberies, which Mr. Camacho already touched on that. That in the 28-day period, we have 59 over 25 the same period last year. And a lot of them is because people in scooters and Sector David around Maria Hernandez Park, Trauman, where all the bars and the nightlife establishments are. But our CO, in conjunction with the Patrol Board of Brooklyn North, they've been tackling. If you walk around that area, you're gonna see a lot of new officers, not assigned to the A3, but they're being sent here to help us tackle this problem. Also, I would like to announce that the 83rd Precinct Community Council is gonna have a fundraiser on December 1st from 7 p.m. to midnight at Latinos Americanos Unidos, located at 218 Wyckoff Avenue. If you have more information in regards, you can call Barbara Smith at 347-988-7426. All the proceeds from this fundraiser will be utilized for the toys giveaway that the precinct and the community council will have on December 16th, Saturday. The precinct's turkey giveaway also is going to be taking place this Sunday, 11/19 at 1 p.m. First come, first serve. So be sure to be there around 12:30, because usually we compile a list, but we were told by our suppliers that the inventory is really low, so they couldn't commit to the list. So they say, tell everybody just to be there on time, first come, first serve. I believe they will give out tickets online, and that's how they're gonna do it. Also, Patrol Board of Brooklyn North, located at 179 Wilson, would also have a turkey giveaway at 2 p.m. on Sunday. But for that one, you must call and register. The phone number is 917-865-9652. 917-865-9652 and 917-592-69 6342. You have to pre-register. And with that, that's my participation, unless somebody has any question.
Thank you, Officer Gomez. Any questions? Yes, we have one. We'll bring the mic to you, Fran, or go ahead. Yeah.
I know I missed the meeting last night, but my coworker went for me and he told me that there's a new captain.
Yes.
Is this the third new captain in a year?
Yes.
What's going on?
No, usually the second in command, they moved a lot from prison to prison according to the department. Her name is Yorlis Alvarez. And for the first time at the editor prison, we have two females at the top, an officer and one, and her rank is captain.
All right. Anything else? Oh, Zuma, go ahead on Zoom.
Yes, hi there. Good evening to our wonderful officers. I'm sorry I cannot be there in person since I'm away on duty. But just one quick question. Just want to know if there's any follow-up as of a shooting that took place back in October 12th, I think in the complex of Renaissance Court between those nice, beautiful buildings. There was a shootout. A vehicle got all shot up and everything. That was just an innocent vehicle. Has there been any progress in that part of Bushwick?
I will have to get back to you on that one, but I don't have any information on it.
Okay, thank you.
Now it's done.
Felix Ceballo, Officer Gomez. The person from the fire department was here earlier. But also I want to know if 83% has any regulation for all the fire cause the battery, in different area.
No, that's strictly handled by the FDNY. In fact, every time there is a fire incident, the investigation is conducted by the fire marshal. And they type up the complaints and everything else. They do the follow-up. But as Celeste had mentioned, if you come across that a building that is abandoned, it could be a fire hazard, you contact them or you call 311 and we can do joint operations with building department, HPD, and so on.
All right. Last call for Tanisha. Go ahead. You're muted. Oh, go ahead.
Hi, sorry. I think there's something wrong with it keeps on showing my hand raised when it's not.
Okay, no
Sorry
problem. Just
about
wanted to
that.
be sure.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
I don't see any other questions. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, we're going to move on now to the district manager's report. That is my report. And in one moment, it'll be in front of me. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Happy belated Veterans Day. Thank you to all who serve and continue to serve now. I also hope everyone was able to vote on or before Election Day last Tuesday. Yes, let's do it. That was really weak, guys. That was really weak. Yeah. All right. We got to vote. We got to vote. We established that. Mr. Camacho was mentioning it. So
you know what happened? We feed them, so now they got lazy. So we got
everybody has the itis. Okay, so we have good news again. Fiscal year 2023 rent was finally paid. So thank you to the staff at Borough Hall. We are catching up on our rent. For those that aren't familiar, the community board was in the process of renewing the lease. We received the documentation around this time last year. We were able to review it, return it to the building management. However, upon Borough Hall's review before submitting it to the controller for final approval, they noticed that the law department had not approved it. They requested that we have the law department approve it. I sent it back to our building management, and that put us on about, I think, a half a year course for them to read a 4-page document and have the law department approve it. But thankfully that was taken care of. We appreciate the mayor's office, our council members for helping throughout that time. It was certainly difficult. We are now aware that our building cannot operate. They cannot pay their staff if they do not receive rent from us. This is Family Services Network of New York. They are the managers for our building. We have been in that building since, I believe, 2012. We have just renewed the lease for 10 years. We are incredibly thankful to have that space. As Mr. Camacho was mentioning, not all community boards have a space. Some of them have been without offices for years, plural. So we are well on our way to be on time as of the beginning of next year. And then Adelina, who you met last month, the board's new part-time hire, is still completing both the required human resources and financial management system training. There is a period of adjustment. You know, folks have to know how to do the job, and we're happy to have her in the office and start getting back to everything running as smoothly as it was when we had 3 people before. We are still a very small team, and so we greatly appreciate your patience and any assistance that board members and that anyone else offers to us. It does not go unnoticed, and we thank you. And there are 4 corrective actions that require attention from the board for the Equal Employment Practices Audit. A response to their final determination is due by November 23rd. This was discussed at the previous meeting. One of those, Mr. Camacho is now required to take a training. He will be doing so. Borough Hall is in the process of setting that up. And we may even potentially be able to make that available within the board's office. We have to see. 2 of those corrective actions were just language in an email. I have to essentially make sure that it's abundantly clear, explicitly clear, that the staff know that Borough Hall is currently the contact for both EEO complaints and for reasonable accommodation. And then the last corrective action was in reference to supplemental trainings, that any hiring, any board members or staff involved in the hiring process must complete those trainings. We simply stated that if there were more flexibility, more availability for those trainings, they would have been completed. One training was not completed because I was out sick. The other one was not completed because we were short-staffed and I had to be in the office in person. Otherwise, we were in compliance with every other part of the audit. And the final events of the year, there's going to be a Bushwick Nonprofit Roundtable on December 6th from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. If you have not received the information yet, don't worry. We will be sending out an email to all of our community partners, all community-based organizations. It is open to everyone. This is an introductory roundtable. Folks will better understand who's doing what in the community, who's representing organizations. We know there's a lot of change and our nonprofits are no exception. So we thank everyone who's already responded and confirmed their participation. We're very excited to do this.
That's the good way. So let's say at least we know where the money's going to and who's getting the money, because they can't do service if they don't have no money. So if they come on out and in this roundtable, we know what, 1, the service they got to provide us, 2, the money that they get, and 3, who's giving them the money to get the funding.
All right. And another exciting announcement, the return of the December CB4 holiday potluck. Get ready. An email will be sent to the board members with more information on how to sign up to volunteer and or bring a dish or beverage. If anyone else would like to participate as well from the community, please feel free to reach out to our office. We certainly welcome you to be involved. And for those that aren't familiar, for our new board members, folks would bring a meal from home, whether it's their famous mac and cheese, whether it's their banana bread. We'll basically have an abridged meeting in December, and we'll set up all of the food in the back alongside the food that we order for the meeting. So it's certainly a treat, and I know it's a tradition that many folks have looked forward to over the years. And this is be the first one since the pandemic. And some other helpful notes, all committee meetings take place at the board's district office, 1420 Bushwick Avenue, room 370, unless otherwise announced. The full board meetings are always here, unless otherwise announced. So please double check the agendas, call the office if you're not sure, but please make sure you're going to the right place for your meetings. That's for everyone.
And call the office before Celeste comes here, because no one's gonna be in the office.
Yeah, after
And that's right, and she's constantly busy. Y'all keep bothering her from bringing the stuff over here, because she says I was doing something and then she can't come here. Now we gotta set up, so.
After 5, the office phones do shut off, so please try to contact us before 5. And then all meeting details are also available in advance via the board's website calendar. So if you can't find a newsletter, you can't find an agenda, you can always, and this is for anyone, just go to the website, to the calendar, and the links for Zoom are available there. And as I said, all meetings are in the board's office. So if you see it's on that date, you'll know exactly where to go. And then of the 3 projects submitted to the Fund for the City of New York's Fellowship Program on behalf of the board, we received a fellow for just 1 this year. The Arts, Culture, Technology Committee's project, which is a cultural archive and mapping project. Dustin will be speaking on that more soon. And just want to say thank you to Dustin and to the committee for their leadership on this. Yeah, great. The round of applause for everyone on Zoom. All right. And I have some meetings that I attended. I'm going to keep it short and I'm going to try to summarize And Mr. Camacho also has his meeting, so I won't even mention the ones that he was at with me. But in short, as I mentioned earlier, it has been a lot to understand and navigate the new regulations around cannabis management. Just as an example, in October, we had 2 applicants on the agenda for that meeting until a new series of applications opened on October 4th, I believe, and it went from 2 to 10, could have been potentially 12. Any of the committee members could attest that that was a long meeting. And that is that committee also reviews liquor licenses still. So we want to be very mindful of that. And I've been working with the staff in the office, with the committee. Thank you to the board members, Mr. Kopp, to Tashana, for really chiming in on how we can maximize our time and the space that we share. And there will be more on that coming forward. I've also spoken with colleagues from other community boards about this, and there are similar concerns. One district manager shared in Manhattan that they had 75 applications on their agenda, 775. So we are certainly dealing with a lot, but there are some boards that are dealing with a lot more. And so hopefully we will get a break in December, and we'll see how everything goes. And I also want to thank Kim, I want to thank Adelina and Mr. Camacho, all the board members for their outreach for the CB4 Homeowner Resource Fair. The very first person that showed up, 93 years old, it was 5:45, and she was ready to get the information from the agencies. So I just want to say thank you for that. And also, we spoke with Deputy Commissioner Jesse Hamilton from the Department of Citywide Administrative Services. We made sure to explain the situation with our lease and the fact that we were waiting for over 6 months for them to make sure that the law department had the appropriate approval for us to be able to get that process and then to pay rent. And congratulations to the Bushwick Film Festival 2023. It's their Sweet 16 this year, and Koebe Koti, the founder of the film festival, was there, and of course all of the filmmakers. It was at Borough Hall. The borough president hosted a lovely event where we were able to celebrate and kick off the festivities for this year. And for those that have been paying out, have a community council. The community boards, elected officials' offices are all a part of this community council. They will be providing updates as that project moves forward. I know Ms. Jackson, our transportation committee chair, has attended these meetings, Mr. Camacho, myself. These meetings are any board member that's interested, whether you're on the transportation committee, please let me know. I'm happy to make sure that you can be present for those. And as Mr. Camacho mentioned, we were present on October 27th for a walkthrough of the Broadway Junction J-Train rehab project area. And they explained to us exactly what they're doing, the phases, the work that's being done. You will see large industrial vacuums on the street. You'll see everything is curtained off. They're taking all of the precautions. The folks will be wearing safety equipment. There will be signs posted. There will be a number. If for whatever reason you have a concern, you don't see the number to call, please contact us and we'll make sure that the MTA is notified right away. And I also want to give a shout out to Clean Bushwick Initiative, to the Bushwick Historic Preservation Association, and the South Bushwick Reformed Church. There was an incredible cleanup event on October 28th. We were able to make sure that the church's beds and the trees outside of the church look really nice. It was a group of us that were out there that day, and it was about 80 degrees in October. So we really appreciate everyone who volunteered. And moving us forward, board members may recall the Living City Project. This is a city planning initiative to improve community board engagement and to support us by creating a toolkit. There are 10 college-age youth that are working with us. I want to say thank you to the board members that offered to be interviewed, as well as to our community partners that will be interviewed sometime between now and the beginning of December. And let's see, other meetings. I'll move past this. The future of community boards continues to meet. This is a working group of district managers citywide. I'm always happy to share that there are only 3 boards in Staten Island, and for a long time there was no representation, but we finally have someone from Staten Island participating regularly. It's really great to hear from everyone about their experiences and to learn. I give a lot of credit to my colleagues for helping resolve issues within this district, because they show me and we show each other how to work and be more effective at what we do. So I really want to say thank you to all of them for everything and for participating, because if they weren't in those meetings, it would be me talking to myself. So, when we're not present, we can only do what we do in community. And let's see, on Thursday, November 9th, there was a district managers meeting at the Borough President's Office. We met with the Chief of Staff, Asher Freeman. Also present was General Counsel Greg Lewis. These are some names that we may remember, as they previously worked with our Borough President when he was our council member. They basically reiterated some of the information that was provided to Mr. Camacho in the chairperson's letter that will be going to Mayor Adams, and they specified how they would be operating and supporting the boards moving forward. There are still concerns about that. We will be making sure to discuss those, and we'll provide a briefing in more detail during the next executive board meeting. And then also last Saturday, the Youth Power Coalition Advocacy Circle, I met with 2 youth, one high school senior and one college undergrad senior, to discuss their engagement. They want to encourage more high school students to join the community boards. And so I sat with them on a Saturday, I answered some of their questions, and they're looking to expand their coalition of high school age board members. So of course, for folks that remember, we've had one. And I called Peter and I was like, hey, Peter, it's been a while. I hope you haven't graduated college already, because that's quick. Time really flies. Because he was in high school when he was on the board. But he's actually a senior now in college. I just spoke with him today. He says hello to everyone. And he did agree that it was okay to share his contact information. So we will be supporting them. And they may be following up with us on how we can help support them doing outreach for more youth board members. Very exciting. We also referred them to Borough Hall. I mentioned this during the Borough Service Cabinet meeting earlier this week, and I did receive a call from the Borough President's Office. They were very interested, and they asked for the contact information for the Youth Power Coalition as well. So who knows what the future will hold. The community board member applications are open, and I'm sure we'll hear more on that later. And I will leave it there. That concludes my report. Thank you, everyone. And moving us along, we have arts, culture, technology. Dustin.
Okay, hi, we're gonna keep it short and sweet.
Oh, boy.
As always, we had a great meeting. We had a couple new board members, so thank them for coming. I'm not even gonna name the names because we're moving quick. We had a little presentation from the open data people, Beta NYC. It was like a shortened version of their 90-minute presentation. We could have taken the whole 90 minutes. It was great, very informative, lots of stuff. Please see your copy of our minutes or our meeting summary to see the website, where to go. Really, I highly recommend taking one of their workshops, or at least just tooling around with the thing. The next thing we talked about was our Bushwick Archive project. I will be meeting the fellow tomorrow, which we're really excited to have. I think she's going to be around until April. So, I appreciate the claps, but don't clap for us until then. And please stay tuned. We are going to need material, media, histories, oral histories, whatever you have, reaching out to people that you know previously in the neighborhood, whatever it is. We want all that history. And we're going to get it basically on display for everybody, and it's so where it can live, forever. I think that's all I got. It was a great meeting. Please, like I said, there's a big project. It's going to have an end date. So please be on the lookout for everything. We want everybody's contributions. And that'll be happening throughout this term. Thank you.
Any questions? Arts, culture, technology? Anything on Zoom? All right, seeing none, we'll move on. District office, I believe, was already covered by myself and Mr. Camacho. All right, permits and licenses, Tashana. Are you there, Tashana?
Oh my God.
Yes, we hear you.
Can you hear me? Oh.
Yes, we do. We hear you.
I couldn't get it. That's right. Give me 2 seconds, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay, sorry everyone. So I'm gonna try to be as brief as possible. Let me pull the report up. It's been hectic. Okay, Okay, do I need to tell who was in attendance, or I could just jump straight into the meeting?
Yeah, you can just jump into like agenda item number 2 with the liquor license review.
Okay, we have Formosa LLC, 144 Evergreen Avenue, located on the corner of Jefferson Street and Evergreen Avenue. The establishment owner intends to bring Chinese cuisine. Their intended liquor sales are Monday, they will be closed, Tuesday through Thursday from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. or 11. And Friday through Sunday from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. The applicants notify the committee of their intended live music hours, which is every Friday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. No outdoor spaces. One second. Then we also have Cats on the Prowl LLC, 785 Hart Avenue, located between Knickerbocker Avenue and Wilson Avenue. The applicants intend to have a live music component to their business, allowing local artists to have a space in the community, and will have a music shop at front of their store selling music equipment. Owners have taken measures to ensure the noise level do not affect quality of life for neighbors. They have taken decibel readings in neighborhood apartments and will be soundproofing. The owner do intend to hire locally, and they are welcome. Oh yeah, we did say that they are welcome to join our meeting. Their intended liquor hours will be Sunday through Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. and Thursday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. Applicants inform that there will be hours of live music, and that will be Thursday through Saturday from 7 to 11 p.m. The owners initially submitted hours of operation before attending the committee meeting that did not align with the documentation they brought to the meeting in person. I did ask that they submit the amendments and documentation by 11/14. And applicants submitted amended hours on 11/14. However, Thursday hours of operation still falls outside of stipulated hours. And please, they said please reference below. 1 second. Okay. Okay, so yes, their hours still falls out of stipulated hours. Okay, so then we're gonna go on to Deuce X Incorporated, 266 Irving Avenue. They are located on the corner of Mayhem Street and Irving Avenue. Their intended sale of alcohol is Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 a.m. Saturday from 12 p.m. to 4 a.m. and Sunday from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. No outdoor seating hours were listed. And they do have a sidewalk area within the property line. I did inform them that the current hours of operation are not within the committee's stipulated hours as listed, and it can affect the quality of life for neighbors. And that, I just gave a recommendation to look over their hours of operations and resubmit it. Let's see. They have not submit an amended form. RM, the next And this establishment is RM Bella Dama LLC, 296 Knickerbocker Avenue. It's located between Knickerbocker Avenue and Saddam Street. This is a cannabis. Let me see. Yeah, this is cannabis, sorry. And they are intended to set their cannabis sales are from Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. Friday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 a.m. and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. Outdoor seating operates from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And just to give some insight to everyone that even though they are giving us their business plan, that does not mean they will be allotted the space. This is a lottery. The third, wait, this is something weird. Okay, then we have Jungle World LLC. We have Jungle World LLC, 25 Wyckoff Avenue, adult use retail dispensary located between Troutman Street and Star Street. This applicant is not a card applicant. And we are now going into the committee mail review, which is none. Would you like to go over we're gonna go over the recommendations. So it was a motion from Eric.
We can save, Tashana, we can save those for the recommendations portion that's coming up next. So I think does that cover it for the majority of the meeting?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So if there are any questions for permits and licenses now, board members, don't save them for recommendations. Any questions? And there's just one correction on the report. It was under number 4 for Bella Dama at 296 Knickerbocker Avenue. It's supposed to be their intended sale of alcohol hours, not cannabis. It was a typo.
Oh, okay.
So
That's why I was
yeah.
confused. That's why I got stuck and I went
Yeah.
back. I'm like, wait, am I seeing this?
Yeah,
correctly?
no, that was a
Okay.
typo. They have a new liquor, wine, beer, cider license application. So
Thank you so
that
much.
was for 296 Knickerbocker, no problem. RM Bella Dama LLC. Okay, if there are no questions for the committee, we will now move on to recommendations. And we will start with the permits and I believe permits and licenses first. If Tashana, you want to go ahead and read out the recommendations for permits and licenses?
Yes, I will. 1 second. Okay, so we have recommendation motion from Eric Kopp, motion to a blanket vote in approval of all the SLA establishments within the hours listed above and with stipulated hours of Monday through Thursday until 12 a.m., Friday through Saturday until 2 a.m., and Sunday until 12 a.m. for the establishments. Cats on the Prowl LLC, 785 Hart Street. We also have Duce X Incorporated, 266 Irvin Avenue, and RM Bella Dama, 296 Knickerbocker Avenue. Then Issa Abney second. There was no abstentions, none opposed, and the motion carried. And then we had a second motion from Issa Abney, motion to vote in favor of the establishment Jungle World LLC, 25 Wyckoff Avenue, adult use retail dispensary, present today with the information as stated. Edward Kopp second, Barbara Jackson and Christine Malden abstain, and the motion carried. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Tashana. We're gonna separate this, if that's okay with the board, for SLA. So as Tashana mentioned, there was a motion to blanket vote approval for all of the SLA establishments with the hours, just to reiterate, the hours that the committee is now stipulating, Monday to Thursday until midnight, Friday to Saturday until 2 a.m., and Sunday until 12 a.m. That's for all of the liquor license applicants. So if they fall within it, that's fine. If they don't fall within it, they would have to, the committee is recommending that they fall within those hours. Is there a motion on this recommendation from the committee?
Motion.
Okay, so I already heard, so I heard a motion from Edward Kopp, and then I heard a second from Mr. Ceballos. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed, any abstentions? Okay, just give me one moment. Yep. So this wasn't, so the motion was to blanket vote the approval, but then they approved all of them in the committee together. So this isn't the motion for the blanket, this is the motion for the actual recommendation. So with those stipulated hours of all, so that's combined, both the blanket and the stipulated hours. Just want to make sure everybody knows, okay. Okay, so I have one opposed, and I have so far one abstention. Any other abstentions? Okay, hold on one moment, Jay Bennett. Any other abstentions? Say your name. Thank you. I have 3 abstentions. Any others? All right, I'm just going to read this out to make sure I have everyone. Stephanie Anderson opposed. Alvina Davis, Joanna Bennett, and Raul Rubio abstained. Am I missing anyone? Because it's very close this evening, we now have to count to see who has signed in. I think we have a few extra board members here, but just as a reminder, abstain means no. So one moment, please.
Abstain.
Have all board members that are here in person signed in? Please sign if you haven't signed in, so that way I can count you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Celeste, I'm not hearing anything. I oppose.
So we have 25 board members still present. And we have 1 opposed and 3 abstained. That's 4. So this, yeah, Barbara just didn't hear anything. We were counting Barbara. We wanted to make sure that we had the majority. So,
Well, did you hear me say oppose?
oh, no, I did not have you down. Thank you.
Yeah, there might.
So I have 2 opposed and I have 3 abstentions.
That's 4,
With every-
Celeste. I've had my hand up.
Okay, well, you gotta say
Abstain.
something, Z. Yeah, I'm looking at the papers. Thank you. So yeah, please let me know, verbalize, whether you're on Zoom or in person, whether or not are you opposed or abstain, Zuma?
I'm abstaining.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, abstain, 2 opposed, that's 5. There's still a majority, so motion carried. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for those that helped us achieve quorum. All right, we will move on now to the second recommendation from the committee, which was in reference to the cannabis retail applicants. My understanding was that the motion that was made was to vote in favor of the establishments with the information, so the hours that were stated within their applications above. However, the motion did not carry because 2 people were in favor and 2 people abstained. So that motion now comes to the full board. Is there a motion for the committee's recommendation to approve the cannabis retail dispensaries with the hours that were established by the committee in the meeting?
Celeste,
Okay.
this is Ethan Avenue. I'll put a motion.
Okay, so Edward Cobb made a motion, Issa seconds.
Agreed.
Are we? Is that correct, Issa? You second?
That
Is
works. That works.
Okay, that works. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I just want a point of clarification if possible. In the attended hours, it would be 10 hours. Is that correct? Mr. Edward? Yeah, but we got from 8 to 12 a.m. That's more than 10 hours.
Right, so then we can pull that back.
Correct. That's why I'm saying we agreeing. Are we change? We're going to change these intended cannabis hours because you're agreeing to Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. Friday through Saturday 8 to 4 a.m.
Yeah. So first of all, Kim just had a point of information. It's 10 to 8, she said. So I'm not sure what you're looking at, Mr. Camacho, but she said that their hours are from 10 to 8.
Okay.
So this is for the one cannabis application that was being reviewed. So 10 to 8, right?
Got it.
It was a mix up.
Yeah. Thank you.
The hours are 10 to 8. We had a motion on the floor. All were in favor. Who's opposed? Okay, just give me one moment, folks, so I can make a record. Anyone else opposed? Okay, one moment. Stephanie Anderson. Okay, I need names. Okay. Millie, okay, one at a time. Millie Sandoval. Joanna Bennett. Joanna, okay, keep your hands up until I call your name, just in case I don't want to miss you. Joanna Fuentes. Kaisha Johnson. Vina Davis. Barbara Jackson. Annette Spellin. Yep, Nicholas Kaplan. And Manikiba, Aline. All right, just give me 1 second. Is that everyone in person? Did you hear Raul Rubio? Okay, hold on. I'm doing a post right now. So only a post. Okay. Are you opposed, Eliseo? Okay. All right. Just one moment. We'll get to the abstentions. Okay, Asire, thank you. All right. So I'm going to read out this list just to make sure I have everyone in person that is opposed. Christian Celeste Tate, Stephanie Anderson, Millie Sandoval, Joanna Bennett, Joanna Fuentes, Kaisha Johnson, Elvina Davis, Barbara Jackson, Annette Spellin, Eliseo Ruiz, Bakiba Brown-Elaine, Nicholas Kaplan, Asire Polite. Did I miss anyone in person? Opposed. Okay. Anyone opposed on Zoom?
Barbara.
Okay. Okay, Barbara, you're opposed, and Zuma, you're opposed as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Jerry too.
Okay, Jerry. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else opposed on Zoom? All right, abstentions. Raul Rubio. Anyone else abstain? I don't hear any voices, so I will go ahead and do the count. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's 17 no, which means, oh, we're doing math tonight. 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't, yeah, that's it. Yeah, so motion does not carry. Thank you, everyone.
Motion does not carry, and when they go to the dispensary, is a possibility that they're gonna give them the hours of operation that they want, that you guys didn't put it, that you got them put it, but they would normally listen to us in regards to the 10 hours. So since y'all want more cannabis, we'll have more cannabis 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah, so does anyone else want to make another recommendation on this particular application? So. All right, hearing no other recommendations, we'll move on to the oh. This is more of a question for clarification. Is this the same situation as in other traditional, like a bar? And if, we ask them to close at midnight and they, basically, like, if we vote this down, does it open up our opportunity to work with them to shut down their hours? Because we learned this the hard way. I just want to say we learned this the hard way with bars, that if we vote stuff down, they don't have to work with us anymore. So obviously people vote your conscience, you do what's right 100%, but I just wanted that as a point of clarification. If I can make a suggestion, just noting, and this has nothing to do with this particular business, but as folks know, there have been a lot of concerns about the saturation on that particular area in Wyckoff off the Jefferson L stop. So, if that's the position that the committee is taking, then that's something that should be articulated to the Office of Cannabis Management. If it is out of concern over the abundance of activities, nighttime activities, and you do not want something else to contribute to that, I think it should be a point that's made instead of no points being made, and an applicant basically just being allowed to do whatever they want. So I'm just suggesting that to the board for consideration. Again, this is the time to make any recommendations. So it could still be a recommendation for no, but you could say why. So that way the Office of Cannabis Management will know why.
Yeah, why did we abstain when he wanted 4 in the morning and we gave him time to 12 after 12? Why would people abstain and say no to the only 10 hours? I'm a little confused. Maybe somebody can, I need to know why is it that you guys abstain is a no vote? Okay, yeah. What happens is this. Let's say, for instance, I'm gonna apply for a cannabis license. I only can open that store for 10 hours. Am I right? Okay, go ahead. 70 hours a week. Anyway,
No worries. Okay, thank you. This is Edward Cox, Community Board 4. So this is how it's going to work for the community board. Our power is to say yes or no to a location. That is it. That's all we look at. Now, what we need to do when we will look at these locations is it actually a good fit? That what we can also do is locate other areas besides churches and schools that include parks and recreation, or churches that use areas that are only being used by children or community organizations. And those can all be designated just like a church or a school. And we can make sure that things are being pushed out into an area away from where children or family activities are going to occur. Every licensee is guaranteed by the state 70 hours of operation. And that can be 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. That can be 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. What we have influence over is saying we don't want 24-hour stores. We don't want 4 a.m. stores, and we're not okay with 2 a.m. stores. That as a community, what we can say is midnight, boom. We don't want to see you guys open after midnight. If you want to open at 8 a.m., because I'm going to tell you, I'm up every morning sitting on Wyckoff, or actually I'm on Myrtle now, and the Bushwick Breakfast of Champions is caffeine and cannabis. I'm just telling you, this is what I watch every morning. So there are people who are going to want to open at 8 a.m. Okay, and they have the right. Now we can say, we don't feel comfortable with 8 a.m. We also have that right. But the OCM is only going to take that into consideration. If the OCM looks at the spot and says, no, 8 a.m. is fine, then we have to start building our relationship with the entrepreneurs and work with them in another way to find a way to get them to understand we want you as part of our community, but you have to be part of the community. not just someone who's making money off of us. Any other specific questions about how the licensing or? All right.
Thank you, Mr. Kopp. Yeah, we'll pass the mic around. We have multiple mics.
Oh, no.
Joanna Bennett speaking. I appreciate their clarification. So my objection is that location is right next to Maria Hernandez Park. So a great, thank you.
So that's where we have the right to say, no, we're not happy with this, where this is. It's too close to a park. And then if it happens, because this was when I went to the OCM meeting online, I specifically asked about this kind of thing. That who's going to guarantee to us that the OCM is going to actually look at the map correctly and place things? Because it's not just something obvious like a big green space on a map like a park. There have to be 200 feet away from a house of your.
We know that this is. But this should have been debated at committee.
Yeah.
That's why committee is there for. So we're debating something here when the committee's got to meet. Anyone can go to anyone's committee that's interested in anything. You're not only in your committee. So if you know something's going to impact you or your area, you're going, we're having a dialogue that should be done in committee where all we do here is make recommendations. We can't keep beating a dead horse. My question is, you want a yes or no, or with specs, or yes, you don't want it, or what you want to do? You want to vote on it again, do a recount, or someone wants to make another recommendation, or you want to leave it as is?
Are there any more specific questions for me?
Go ahead. Okay. All right. So if we're leaving it as is with no vote, then these folks will be able to do whatever they would like to do. Again, this is the last chance. If anyone would like to make a recommendation for a no.
I would like to make a recommendation to reconsider the vote now that we understand the specifics about how the hours are designated, so that people may have an opportunity to make an informed vote.
This was a recommendation to reconsider. There's a second that was from Edward Kopp. There's a second from Cecilia Fabian.
All in favor? Any abstain, any opposed? Okay, now we're gonna go through a vote again.
Yep, wait, hold on. There was one abstention. So this was just to reconsider. So any other abstentions? Okay. I only have one abstention. So motion carries. Recommendation to reconsider. Did you have something, Stephanie? Do you want me to, you're opposed to the recommendation to reconsider? Oh, no. Oh, okay, that was what that was. So I only have one abstention.
Recommendation to reconsider?
No, we already did. That carried. So are we now reconsidering? What are we reconsidering?
I make a motion that we reconsider the vote, take a new vote on whether or not you recommend the solicitation with OCM.
Based on the committee's recommendation. Okay. The second by Felix Ceballos. So for folks, in case you missed it, the recommendation from the committee is now being voted on again after folks were able to better understand the board's role. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Kaisha. Anyone else opposed? On the same recommendation from before that did not pass after the board better understood the role. Just the one cannabis retail license location on Wyckoff, correct? Okay, Christine opposed. Yep, so, okay, we're in the middle of a vote, Raul. What's the point of order?
Are we voting on the same recommendation?
On the same exact recommendation.
That aggregate sounds a little bit different.
It's,
He was talking about the OCM location, having OCM look at the location as opposed to just the hours of operation.
okay, What, okay, so Edward saying, so Raul was asking if Edward changed the recommendation. Edward has stated that the recommendation has not changed. Is that a correct depiction? The recommendation has not changed. It is the same recommendation that was voted on before. I have 2 opposed. Any other opposed? Stephanie Anderson. Any abstentions? Okay. Okay, Alvina Davis. Any other abstained? Okay. So opposed, Kaisha Johnson, Christine Malden, Stephanie Anderson, abstained, Christian Celeste, Alvina Davis, Raul Rubio. Am I missing anyone?
Can I add to my,
We're almost, sorry. If there's no one else, the motion carries. Thank you. Mr. Camacho.
I just wanted to see if it's possible, which I don't think it could be, not by a school, not by the, Maria Hernandez Park. So if possible, if maybe we can just,
So this is on Wyckoff between Troutman and Star Street. So it's not directly adjacent to the block. It's like a block and a block away, a block and a short block away.
but there's a school there, 1, 2, 3.
On Irving, yeah, on Irving. So
a school.
again, it's a block away. The committee just passed a motion. If there's another motion, now is the time. Yep, go ahead, Christine. We need the mic for Christine.
Hi, everybody. Christine Malden here. I was just going to make the reflection that that is the area that we've been talking about for the saturation for the liquor licenses and all the nightlife activity well into the morning hours. So on that basis, I would suggest that we not include any cannabis there on that corridor, but on Wyckoff between Flushing and, I don't know, down to DeKalb. There are also two schools there as well, not within 200 feet, I don't think, but very close.
So that's something for the committee to vote on during the next meeting.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
this recommendation is not passed. We have 2 others. I know folks have to leave, so I want to make sure we can keep recommendations moving. There's a recommendation from the executive board to change to quarterly or as needed meetings. Is there a motion from the board? Say your name. Caitlin Penner made a motion, second by who? Say name. Alvina Davis beat you to it, Tashana. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? None to that. So moved. Very excited executive board. All right. And then there was also a I'm sorry. That's next. So the executive board also recommended a letter be sent to HPD. I didn't go into too much detail during my report. Mr. Camacho didn't speak on it earlier. However, during the homeowner resource fair, there were 2 agencies that we were informed prior to the event that weren't there, both DEP called out sick. We were not informed. They did tell us the day of that sanitation wouldn't be there. And then the Center for New York City Neighborhoods was a no-show. People took the time to come out, to be there, to be present. HPD did not communicate in advance. They did not provide updates to flyers in a timely fashion. Every single flyer update that was made had to be made by myself in-house. They did not provide a Spanish translation when it was requested. They said we never requested a Spanish translation, which I don't know how that makes any sense, because if they know Bushwick, they know we need both English and Spanish. So that being said, the intentionality of improving our relationship with HPD did not come to pass. The executive board felt that it was important to make sure that the commissioner is aware of this and that we can find a way to better collaborate in the future. So they wanted that to take place in the form of a letter and have the board vote on that letter being sent to the commissioner. Is there a motion for this letter to be sent to the commissioner? Anne, I see Anne raising her hand. Asire Paulette seconds. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstained? So moved. Thank you, everyone. I believe that concludes, none for that this evening. Yeah, I believe that concludes our recommendations for this evening. Going once, going twice, hearing none. What, we have anything? Okay, thought I heard something. All right, we will move on now. I'm trying, everybody. I want to make sure everyone's heard. All right, so we're moving on to old business. Any old business? Going once, going twice. Hearing none. New business. Going once, going twice. Any new business? None. Announcements, 1.5 minutes, unless you've received information that you have extended time. And then folks that are here in person, please line up. Folks on Zoom, please raise your hand. Announcements. You will be timed. We see no one. No one has, okay. Please line up in front. Don't be late. We're gonna move fast. In the middle in person, we'll pass you a mic. And then if you're on Zoom, go ahead on Zoom. Who is that? Barbara Smith. Go ahead, Barbara.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good evening, everyone. This is Barbara Smith. I'm also the president of the 83rd Precinct Community Council. And this year, the Precinct Council is having a fundraiser. We haven't had one since 2018. We pick people in the community, different organizations. My council picked 2 of our community board 4 members, which is Ms. Barbara Jackson and Miss Ann Guiney.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2 of our honorees. So all come out and support them. I think the flyers is there. Officer Gomez was talking about it.
Yes, yeah.
Do you have them?
Yes, we have the Barbara. Thank you.
Open to the public, come out, enjoy yourself, support our board members. I have 7 other people, but you can see who the other honorees are on the flyer. We don't charge, we just ask for donations. We put envelopes on all the tables, and that's how you donate. And like our officer said, the money we collect, we have a toy giveaway after we shop for toys. Thank you, guys. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Barbara. All right, in person, go ahead.
Hey, this is on. Okay. Hi, everyone. Lacey Talbert, Brooklyn Borough President's Office. Important and exciting information for community boards. The application is available as of today on our website, brooklynbp.nyc.gov. It is going to be up until February 19th. If your term is expiring and you need to reapply, you should receive a message from our office. You have a lot of time to do it. You can get started now, something fun to do over the holidays. It should take about 45 minutes to complete. And if you don't reapply within that window, you will not be reappointed. So please make sure that you take the time to do it if you want to stay on the board. Last year we looked at attendance. Well, we didn't even have to because they already took care of that for us, but it is something that we look at when we're doing the reappointments. So just, to underscore some of the things they said before. One of the really quick thing is tomorrow there's a training with the Landmarks Preservation Commission. If you want to learn more about reviewing applications, it is on Zoom, and I'm sure Celeste has sent you the info. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, I just have 3 announcements. Narcan training for East New York on Saturday, 18th, 11 a.m. at Community Board 5. We're doing a turkey giveaway, first come, first serve. You have to RSVP, Mr. Ruiz. It is on Sunday at 10 a.m. at our office. And then we have 2 tree lighting events in Bushwick. One will be in partnership with a lot of other elected officials who represent Bushwick. Knickerbocker will be December 4th and Irving Square Park will be December 2nd. More information to come. And I have some flyers out there in the front as well. Thank you.
Hey everyone, so just want to say thank you to everybody who joined our Halloween event. We did give out 300 candy bags to the community. On December 4th at 6 p.m. we will be having the tree lighting event at Knickerbocker Plaza. We will have a parade going to Maria Hernandez Park. For participatory budget, we're just asking community members to join us to be a budget delegate. If you do want to be a member, please reach out to our office. Our office is aware of the robberies increasing in the border of Ridgewood and Bushwick. We have asked the 104 and the 83rd for a meeting with and Councilmember Nurse's office. So when we have any updates, we will let you know. Our office does lead the North Brooklyn Housing Task Force. We're reminding tenants that if you're experiencing any harassment or need any repairs or do not have heat, please contact our office and we will work with the task force. We've also noticed that having issues with HRA benefits such as food stamps, Medicaid, one-shot deals. If you know anyone who's experiencing these issues or having problems, please reach out. We have been resolving a lot of these cases now. Thank you. You can reach out to our office at 718-963-3141, or you could email me at jmayanceda@council.nyc.gov. 718-963-3141. 718-963-3141.
Hi, guys. Community Dialogue NYC is going to be having a Friendsgiving, annual Friendsgiving, which is basically a community potluck. For, any community member is able to bring food. It's going to be on Halsey and Wilson. It's Halsey Park, as how we know it. The forgotten park for me is like that area has been forgotten. And I just want to provide people with clothes, whatever we can provide them with. So anyone is more than welcome to. It's going to be November 18 from 11 to 1 p.m. You're more than welcome to come by and just share some time with the community, help us feed the community, and help us clothe and give out whatever we have for them. This is the time, the season where we need to join together and work together. And even if it's just a hot meal, my heart is for the homeless. There's so many homeless now, right now. So we could join together and you guys can meet me over there, whoever it is. If it's just one or two people, if you could prepare a meal and donate that meal, that would be great. That could go and benefit someone. And whatever's left over, we're going to drop it off in a shelter. So it's not going to go to waste. So November 18 from 11 to 1. Thank you. And it's also, I'm sorry, Reynoso's office is providing us with the food. So I want to give him thanks because if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I would have got it. Thank you.
Urban Square Park on Halsey.
All right, go ahead, Cynthia.
I don't know if everyone could hear me.
Yes.
I just wanted to let you all know that we are getting a family enrichment center in Bushwick. I shared the job descriptions with the community board. We are hiring a site director and a community liaison individual. So if you are interested, please send your cover letter and resume to me. The job description is also with the community board. You could also see it at the coalition website, or feel free to email me and I'll send that to you. We would love to hire from an individual from the community who understands the work. And if you have any questions about the Family Enrichment Center, feel free to reach out to me as well.
Thank you, Cynthia. And Noel, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. This is Noel Lane from the Bushwick Star Theater again. Just a brief update on our work on our new location in Bushwick, which is at 419 Eldert, right off of the Halsey stop on the L train. We are really we're in construction now and are looking to complete construction in April, and hopefully, it won't take too long for us to get our permits to get our TCO, and hoping to open that space or get into that space in May or early June at the latest. So we're very excited to finally be able to have a location in Bushwick again. In the meantime, we are producing work at other theaters around the city and continuing our programs in Bushwick and Ridgewood. We have Big Green Theater after school program, which is at PS 106 right now. And the kids' performance will be in December. And in the spring, we'll be working with PS 75 once again, which we're very happy to be there for, I think, the 7th year now. We also have our Creating Performance workshop happening right now at El Puente Bushwick, the Bushwick Center on Central, and we have our ongoing spring program at Round Table Senior Center, which is wonderful, and we are excited to welcome the seniors into our new theater when we finally open, to show some of the work that they have created. So again, we will be in the spring at 419 Eldert. And again, if you want to reach out to us, my phone number is 917-620-8546. And you can reach me at Noel, Noel, at thebushwickstar with 2 R's.org. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Noel. I don't see anyone else in person. I see no other hands on Zoom. That concludes announcements for this evening. And we have our favorite part, second roll call. Our second paper. All right, be ready, board members. Shoshana Wade,
Here.
Jerry Valentine,
President, good night.
Ben Tucker, James Stewart, Annette
Here,
Spellin.
here, here.
Got you,
here.
James.
Good night.
Got you, James. Annette Spellin had to be excused. Dustin Somborn, Maria Soler, Barbara Smith,
Present.
Milagro Sandoval, Eliseo Ruiz, Raul Rubio, Asir Polite, Caitlin Penner, Levi Ornstein Wolf, Zuma Navoa,
Present. Good night, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Mary McClellan, Raman Mama, Christine Malden, Edward Cobb, Nicholas Kaplan, Luisa Jose. One mic, folks, please. I want to get us out the building. Kaisha Johnson, Barbara Jackson. Kaisha, please sign in. Tanisha Honeygan.
Present. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Ann Guiney, Christopher Graham, Joanna Fuentes, Freddie Fowler, Cecilia Fabian, Jasmine de Santiago Diaz, Alvina Davis, Christian C. Tate, Felix Ceballos, Robert Camacho, Raul Brown, Makiba Brown Elaine, Joshua Brown, Joanna Bennett, Stephanie Anderson, Isa Abney.
Present.
Got you, Isa. Motion to adjourn. Alvina Davis makes a motion to
second.
adjourn. Is it?
Issa second.
Joanna Bennett seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? So moved. 8:25, a record. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.